Hello. What is collaboration? An inspiring, messy, chaotic, and often frustrating but enriching way to develop something. It's a mix of people with different backgrounds, life skills, and opinions. Collaboration requires engagement from everyone involved, and sometimes responsibilities are not equally divided but are equally important. Working in a collaborative group is not always easy. Sometimes people are rude or inconsiderate. Then it's up to oneself to find the core value again. In its core, collaboration is an opportunity to come up with something that is more exciting and wonderful than what I can do on my own. Reflecting on my journey so far, I've experienced moments of confusion, energy, inspiration, and frustration. Initially, I understood the brief and tried to follow the resources, but despite my efforts, I struggled to find direction. This was unsettling, but I accepted it as part of the learning process. Reflection has become a tool to help me find purpose in each week's challenges. Later on, the webinars were a safe space to find strength and even a friend. Both gave me energy to keep moving forward, even though I couldn't always see the path ahead of me. Back to the collaboration. What do I bring to the team? My special way of dedicating time and skills to the team was to set up the chat, whiteboard, and meetings. Sadly, engagement was scarce and I started to feel isolated. I still committed to sharing my weekly work and followed the quote by Adolf Freiherr von Knigge: "Take an interest in others if you want others to take an interest in you." Reminding myself to stay proactive and try to listen to the group's needs. Listening is interesting for me. My ears are excellent in some way and need training in other areas. Listening to webinars, audiobooks, podcasts, while walking around doing mediocre tasks or having my laptop read literature out loud is my preferred method of studying, and it works like a charm. On the other hand, really listening, slowing down my brain enough to let someone finish, is hard for me. I have to practice letting someone finish, think about the said thing, and only then I reply. I have no one way to fix this yet, but based on the thoughts that came up after doing some research, I think learning to slow down my thoughts, becoming calmer, is a real good starting point. Luckily, I love discussions. Challenging my teammates, bringing people to question fundamental beliefs they had going into a project, makes it so much more interesting. In this collaboration, project group discussions were disappointing. The meetings we had were unbalanced and I had to shout at one point to ask fundamental questions. I learned what I do not want in a collaborative discussion. And that has a lot of value too. I learned that next time I feel like an unbalance is forming, I have to say something sooner. Now I have experienced what it feels like and I will be aware of it and will act better informed in the future. How did we generate any ideas under these circumstances? I think everyone felt we need to make this simple because communication was so difficult. So the idea of literally answering to a teacher in a classroom setting was born. For the layout, we put separate ideas on the whiteboard and changed them until we agreed. I'm used to more talking, laughing, and getting to know each other. And I realized personal interaction is what makes collaboration at work so special to me, not the end product. Calling this collaboration a success depends on what one values more, the connecting with people or the end result. That being said, digesting the previous weeks sits heavy in my stomach. I feel very burned out and drained of inspiration. To quote Maya Angelou, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. I feel like my creativity shrunk inside me during this module because of our collaboration group didn't allow creative discussions. That really broke me down for a moment, until I realized someone else's negativity is not my problem. I can find joy in this project. The personal reflection gave me that joy back. They showed me a lot about myself, and I was forced to put what I thought and felt into words. I've never done that. I usually express myself in colors and shapes. I used this learning opportunity to fill up my energy. I was reminded of Knigge again. Do not extend your right hand to everyone. Do not embrace everyone. Do not press everyone to your heart. What will you reserve for the better and beloved? And who will trust your gestures of friendship? Who will value them if you are so lavish in bestowing them? This quote always reminds me to reset my priorities and accept that sometimes life demands too much. You have to let some things go, and I am in control. I used this gained energy to help out in my group. I hand wrote everyone's words for the manifesto. I shared everything I did. I started to talk to the people individually for this. They were way more responsive and happy to work with me in this context. I asked them if I had to wait for changes, if they have any wishes, if they needed help with the writing, and so on. I simply tried to pull us over the finish line. I see all of this as a learning opportunity. Week by week, I build my resilience and self-awareness, even in a challenging group setting. I'm learning how I want to approach collaboration and communication in the future. This experience is sharpening my collaborative skills, showing me what to foster and what to avoid. In the future, I want to avoid being dragged down by others' frustrations or stress, as that's their issue, not mine. However, I also aim to share my inner motivation when teammates are struggling. To summarize, I was not prepared for this collaboration, even though I have collaborated many times professionally, but never like this. For the future, I would advise to have a leader in a group bigger than 4 people. You need someone with an overview of the engagement and progress. When I read the resources, I got them, but I have a hard time finding their value for me. I improved in reflective thinking and communication, especially learning how to act when things get stuck. I have looked at the Gibson reflective cycle early on and shared it with the group. We were unaware that it was a reflective writing model. I just used it to put my frustration into words. Finishing a project can be done without personal engagement, but that's boring. While doing the manifesto handwriting, I got feedback from my peers and I was able to apply it. I was willing to rework it until everyone was happy. I believe feedback is an opportunity to improve. I welcome sincere critique, and if the next version falls short, we can always return to an earlier one. Remembering my strengths. I have the ability to find something enriching in every project. I find enjoyment in enriching environments. I stay calm when deadlines are approaching. I want to build on these abilities and share it with my future colleagues.